so this space actually started in 2014, and originally it was just like an open community garden. And the person that was running it, they had volunteers to come in. Home Depot, they built all of these raised beds and the water catchment and the greenhouse. But it became too much really to manage, for one person. So then when they got a new farm manager, she ran it for 1 year and she was like, So then in 2019, they decided to do something a little bit different and they started renting out the beds. So almost all of the beds are rented out, and they're rented out by either organizations, by families, or individuals, or community groups, churches. And so that's what they've done to kind of help to maintain the space and be able to share the collective like use of it. And so all of the beds pretty much past this front row are all rented out. And the front row, except for that one in the corner this season, is still a community space. So those beds are open for anyone to harvest, anything that they want out of it. And we, as a group, kind of help to maintain those beds. Our water usually comes from the city, so there's a long hose that gets plugged into that behind that building. And when there's not enough rain, then they fill up the water catchments for us, and then we're able to water our garden spaces with that water. So the first year, 2019, this was the first bed that we had. Girl Trek is a national group for Black women to take back their health by walking. So we said, we walk Palmer Park all the time. So when they opened it up for garden beds, we was like, well, we definitely want in. So we got our garden space, and that, I would say that first month, all of my stuff got eaten. Because there are a lot of deer out here. And so, again, some we didn't think about. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. The following season, I created this cage system, just working with one of my good friends who's a builder, and we just said, okay, how can we make something to cover the beds that the deer, can't necessarily move? And so we created this, and it's really a simple system. It's like a hinge, and so it just opens up. And so it's worked really good, because that was the first time that I actually saw all of my plants come to, where I can harvest them. I saw my tomatoes for the first time, and I was so excited. So then the next year, which is this year, everybody else was like, okay, we getting cages too, because they were tired of their stuff getting eaten. So that was like one of the new things that we did this year is add this deer netting in the cage system. And then, every year we try new things in the garden space. So, like for me, I've kind of turned this bed into a medicinal, like herbs and, just native plants, because I was like, I can't really come out here as much as I wanted to, and people aren't harvesting like, we normally would, because of last year and this year we're still facing the same issues. So a lot of this is just, stuff that can go almost all season without us, having to pick it all the time. But then I had an opportunity to get a second bed, and so I shared that opportunity with one of my longtime mentors and friends, Mrs. Deborah White Hun, who runs Detroit Windsor Dance Academy. And so we have the second bed here, and a portion of it is more like a demo bed. So if anybody comes out from our Girl Trek group and they never garden or they want to learn some new skills, we're able to show them something in that demo space. So, we kind of left one little area open. And so then we also had another member who wanted to do more with her church. So she was able to get a bed here. And then my good friend Michelle was able to get a bed, because some people, guess what? They drop off. They end up not working the space. And so, we can't have our beds just looking all any kind of way. So she took over one bed. And so now we have a more beautiful space. And all of the beds pretty much are, maintained throughout the season. Sometimes we, invite people in and they're able to take what we harvest. We are not, I've never been like one of those people like, no, don't take my stuff. I love giving my stuff away, because that's how you introduce people to new things. And sometimes they don't even know like how things grow, so it's just exciting to show them like something that's growing, or maybe something that they, had as a tea, or, saw in the salve, and they're like, oh, that's what it really looks like. So that's one of the reasons why we try to grow some different things every year in this space. And so we welcome you to come here when when you're in Palmer Park taking a walk, come through the garden space and enjoy what's here. And we really pretty much run from, I would say from May is like our big opening, and then we end probably around October. You know, in different parts of the world, they don't capitalize on it like we do in the Western world. They just, everything is just excavate, you know, just to get money. They use it for real practical reasons. So like this right here has juice in it. You can't tell, but if I were to do like that, you could, it's a little wet. This little wet, if I were to get cut, you put it on the cut and it helps. It's almost like an antibacterial. Yeah.
Wow.
So that they make salves out of it. You can find lotions. I sell moringa oil as well.
Wow.
So this leaf is dried and crushed into a powder form. And
Okay.
that's what I sell.
Okay.
So two teaspoons a day, morning, one in the morning, one at night is all a person would